will start our next practical, that is bulking of sand. So our aim of the experiment is to determine percentage of bulking of a given sand. So for this, we need sand, obviously, then measuring cylinder, steel rule, steel rod, that is of 6 cm diameter. So let's discuss about the theory. So when water is added to the sand, what happens? The volume of sand changes. For fine sand, as there are more particles, the volume change will be more as compared to coarse sand. So this change of volume is called bulking. Initially it was B, finally it is B dash. So this is called bulking. So if the moisture content is within 5 to 8%, then our bulking will be 20 to 40%. Okay. But beyond that, our bulking will decrease. So let's discuss about the procedure. We will take a measuring cylinder and we will fill the sand sample up to two-third height of that cylinder. We will rod it, okay, with the help of steel rod. Then we will shift this amount of sand to the another pan or something else, so that no amount of sand will be lost. Okay. Then what we will do? We will fill this cylinder with water up to half of that height. Okay, up to half. If this is 100 ml, then we will up to fill up to 50. If it is 200, then 100. Okay, up to half. Then from this sand sample, we will put this half of this sand sample into this. We will rotate it. After that, we will put another half portion to this cylinder and rotate it. And finally, we will note the height, that is S2. Initially, it was only sand for H1 and it is sand plus water. We will note these two height. Okay. Then what we will do? We will find out the percentage of bulking. How? This is H1 minus S2 divided by S2 into 100. What is H1? This is the height of the sand in the measuring cylinder. Okay. That height is generally two-third height of that cylinder. Okay. S2 is the height due to sand plus our water. Okay. I have already explained the procedure how to calculate S2. Okay. So percentage of bulking is H1 minus S2 divided by S2. Then next step, what we will do? We will draw a graph of percentage of bulking versus moisture content, and from this graph we will easily find out for what percentage bulking is there and for what percentage there is maximum bulking and from which bulking goes on decreasing. So let's start the practical. If you can see, we have taken a measuring cylinder of 100 ml. Hello. So we have taken here 100 ml of cylinder. What we will do? We will put two-third height of the cylinder with this sand. This is a dry sand. Okay, that is two-third is ours, nearly 67 ml. So let's put it in the cylinder. Put the sand sample in the cylinder. Okay. Now all of you can see we have filled the sand within two-third of this height of the cylinder. Okay. Now with the help of steel rule we will smooth this top surface, make the top surface level. Okay. So all of you can see we have taken a glass cylinder 100 ml and we have filled up to two-third height of the cylinder with the sand. Now we will shift this amount of dry sand to a pot in such a way that no sand is lost. Okay, let me shift it. We have to shift it carefully. Then what we will do is we will fill this cylinder up to half with water sample. Okay, let me fill it. That is 50 ml. Let me carefully fill it. So all of you can see now, all of you can see is we have filled the cylinder with water up to half, that is 50 ml. Now what we have to, as all of you can see, we have taken about 2/3 height of that sand that already we have filled here. Okay, first what we did is we filled this cylinder up to with the sand up to 2/3 of height, that is 67 ml. Then we have transferred that sand to a pot so that no sand was lost. Second step is we have filled this cylinder up to half with water. Then what we will do next is we will put this sand into this cylinder that is filled with water in two phases. First half portion, then we stir it with this steel tamping rod that is 6 mm diameter. Then we will put another half and we will do this procedure again. And finally, we will measure the height. Okay, let's do it. Before putting the sand into the cylinder with water, be careful that no amount of sand is lost. Okay. So it is better to put the cylinder on the pot. Okay. And carefully put half of your sand sample in the cylinder. Now you can see I have put my half of the sand sample in the cylinder. Then what I will do is, with the help of this steel rodette will be done. All of you can see it. It should be done uniformly from middle to the end of the cylinder. Then what we will do is we will put remaining half portion of the sand into the cylinder. Again the stirring with the rod will be done. All of you can see. Let it be settled for 5 minutes. Then we will measure the final height, that is S2. Okay, our H1 was 67 ml. Okay, let it be settled for 5 minutes. Then we will measure the final height. Okay, thank you. Now after setting of after 5 minutes, you can see the final height of that sample is 66 ml. So our S2 is 66 ml. Okay. So our S2 is 66 ml. So now we will go for our calculation part. Now you can see this is our cylinder with sand. This is we fill the cylinder with 2/3 of sample, that is 67 ml. Now what we will do, this is our in our step 2. We have first what we did, we put 50 ml of water, that is half of that capacity of the cylinder. Then we put the sand sample in two phases, half. Then finally we rotate it down, we stir it, okay, and we found the height of settled down sample is 66 ml, that is our S2. So percentage of bulking is H1 minus S2 divided by S2 into 100, that is 67 minus 66 divided by 66 into 100, that is 1.515% of bulking for the moisture content of 50 ml. Okay, so that is for 50 ml of water, and for so for 50 ml of water, our percentage of bulking is 1.515. So to draw a graph with percentage of bulking versus moisture content, what do we have to do? We have to take 4 different samples with different water content and find out the percentage bulking. So we have to note it down. For we will take 30 ml, 40 ml, 60 ml, 70 ml. Already we have calculated 50 ml, that is 1.515. If we reduce the moisture content, what percentage of bulking we are getting, and if we increase the percentage of moisture content, what percentage bulking we are getting. So from all these 5 different reading, we can find out the graph, and we can easily find out for which moisture content what is the percentage of bulking. Okay, thank you.